You know that feeling, right? In a competitive game like Mobile Legends,
Oh, yeah.
1 minute you're just like absolutely on fire, riding this amazing win streak, maybe getting MVP. You feel totally unstoppable, and
Mm.
then bam, suddenly it's like you hit a brick wall, loss after loss. Maybe your teammates feel, let's just say, not quite up to par.
It happens.
It's enough to make you start thinking, wait, is this game rigged somehow? Is there some kind of dark system working against me, keeping me stuck?
That's the million-dollar question for a lot of players.
Well, welcome to the deep dive. Today, that's exactly what we're getting into from Mobile Legends. Bang, bang. We've looked at official Moon patch notes, developer Q&As, community theories, all that stuff.
Yeah, dug through quite a bit.
Our mission today, to really demystify how MLBB tries to make fair matches with its matchmaking and ranking. We want to separate the facts from, the popular myths.
Can figure out what actually helps you climb.
Exactly. Equip you with the knowledge so you understand what's going on and how you can genuinely take control of your climb. Okay, let's get into it.
Sounds good. It's actually pretty fascinating how much speculation there is because often the core mechanics are quite, well, logical.
So where do we start?
Okay, so underneath your visible rank, Grandmaster, Epic, Mythic, whatever, every player has this hidden skill rating. Think of it like an MMR or ELO score.
Ah, okay. So like a secret number the game tracks for everyone.
Pretty much. And that score is the main thing driving who you get matched with and against.
Right, the hidden truth behind the shiny badge. How does that secret score change? Does it go up and down quickly?
It adjusts after every single game. So wins boost it, especially if you play really well and, get objectives, high KDA, MVP, that kind of thing.
Makes sense.
And naturally, losses will bring it down. The whole point, the system's goal, is to eventually match you with players of similar MMR.
So it's trying to create balanced teams based on this hidden skill.
Exactly. Trying to get you to a point where you're facing fair challenges, which statistically leads towards roughly a 50% win rate if the matches are truly balanced at your school level.
Okay, but here's where it gets tricky, right?
Yeah.
Because sometimes my visible rank feels way off from the people I'm playing with or against. Like, I'm Epic V, but maybe there's a legend in my game. How does that work with the hidden MMR?
Yeah, that's a really common point of confusion and honestly frustration. It comes down to that tension between visible rank and hidden MMR. While your visible rank does get factored in, and Moonin actually updated it recently to give much more weight to rank to try and reduce those huge skill gaps you sometimes see.
Okay, so they are trying to fix that.
They are. But that hidden MMR is still like the fundamental layer. So if your hidden skill is, say, much higher than your visible Epic V rank suggests, maybe closer to a legend player's hidden skill.
Then the system might put us together.
Exactly. It might pair you based on that underlying skill similarity, even if the visible ranks look totally mismatched. And if you only look at the ranks on the loading screen, yeah, it feels unbalanced.
I see. So the lack of transparency about the hidden MMR is kind of the issue there. People see the ranks and assume the worst.
Precisely. It's trying to balance skill, but we only see the rank part of the equation.
Okay, so wins and losses affect the hidden MMR. But what about how I play? If my team loses, but I absolutely carried, got MVP, does the system see that? Does it count for anything?
It absolutely does. And this is important. Muntin explicitly uses your individual performance, your KDA, objective contribution, MVP status, all that, to give you star protection points and star raising points.
Ah, okay. I've seen those meters.
Right. So playing well, even in a loss, fills that protection meter. If it's full, you might not lose a star. And playing well in wins fills the star raising meter, which can give you an extra star on your next win.
So it actually rewards good individual play, helping skilled players climb faster, even with dodgy teammates sometimes.
That's the idea. It cushions the blow of a loss if you performed well and accelerates your climb if you're consistently outperforming your current rank.
Okay, that's good to know. What about playing with friends? Does queuing up as a duo or a full team change the matchmaking? Because facing a coordinated 5-stack as a solo player used to be rough.
Oh, absolutely brutal. But yeah, they made a really crucial change there. Now the system only matches equal-sized groups against each other.
Really? So a 5-man team will only fight another 5-man team?
Correct. And solos, duos, trios generally get matched within their own bracket. It was a huge improvement for the solo queue experience, preventing those full pre-made stomps.
Thank goodness for that. Okay, and roles. I remember the dark days of solo queue where you could end up with like 3 mages fighting over mid lane. Did they ever sort that out?
They did, thankfully. That was another major quality of life update. Initially, you're right, matchmaking just ignored roles completely. It led to, well, chaos.
Total chaos.
But then they brought in the lane matchmaking system. I think it was June 2025.
Right, the role queue.
Yeah. Now you select at least 2 preferred lanes or roles before you even queue up. The system then tries to build a team with those roles assigned and locked in.
Ah, so much better. Reduces the fighting in the draft phase, promotes more sensible team comps.
Exactly. It's designed to minimize those role conflicts and disputes, leading to, hopefully, more strategic games right from the start. It builds on top of the base MMR matchmaking.
Are there any other sort of smaller factors that nudge the matchmaking?
Well, yeah, things like your geographic location and server choice matter for latency, obviously. And sometimes queue times themselves can affect match quality. If you're queuing at a weird hour with fewer players, the system might have to widen the MMR range a bit to find you a game.
Right, the classic trade-off between queue speed and match perfection.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the complex web of how you get into a match. What about the climb itself? The ranks, the stars, the points? How does that progression actually function?
Right, the visible journey. So up until you hit Mythic, it's all based on stars. You need a certain number of stars to advance through each division within a rank. It starts easier, like maybe 3 stars per division in Warrior, then 4 in Elite and Master, and then it's 5 stars per division for Grandmaster, Epic, and Legend.
And it's simple. Win, gain a star, lose a star.
Mostly, yes. The one exception is Warrior rank. You actually don't lose stars for defeats there, which is kind of nice for brand new players just learning the ropes.
A gentle introduction.
Yeah.
And those star protection and star raising points we mentioned, the ones tied to performance, how do they fit into this star system?
They're crucial safety nets and accelerators. Star protection points build up as you play well, or you can use a protection card item. When that meter hits 100%, your next loss won't cost you a star. It saves you.
Okay, cushions the fall.
And star raising points work similarly, but for wins. Get good results, maybe MVPs, first blood, things like that, fill the meter. Once it's full, your next win gives you an extra star.
Oh, nice. So that really helps you push through ranks faster if you're playing well.
Exactly. It rewards that individual skill and consistency. Though it's worth noting, the star raising point system stops once you reach Mythic.
Ah, Mythic. That's where things change, right? No more stars.
Correct. Once you hit Mythic, it transitions to a point system. It's basically Mythic points. You need 25 points, I believe, on top of the base Mythic entry to reach Mythical Honor.
Okay.
Then another 25 points, so 50 total, gets you to Mythical Glory. And for the absolute peak Mythical Immortal, you need 100 total points. That tier is usually limited to the top 50 or maybe 100 players on the server.
Wow. Okay. And how do you gain or lose points in Mythic? Is it still just win-loss?
It's primarily win-loss, but your individual performance in the match heavily influences how many points you gain or lose. Playing exceptionally well in a win gets you more points. Playing poorly in a loss might cost you more.
So individual skill becomes even more critical at the highest levels.
Definitely. And then, of course, we have the season resets every few months.
Ah, yes, the rank drop. Always feels like a bit of a reset button, sometimes a frustrating one.
Yeah, it's a soft rank reset. Usually drops you down maybe 2 or 3 divisions. The idea is to keep the ladder fresh, encourage players to climb again each season.
Keeps people engaged, I suppose.
Okay.
And there are those protection cards too, right?
Yep, star protection and rank protection cards. You can earn them or sometimes buy them. They're like single-use get-out-of-jail-free cards to prevent losing a star or even dropping a rank tier right when you're on the edge.
Okay, got it. Now, let's circle back to the big one, the dark system.
The ghost in the machine.
That feeling where you have an amazing win streak and then suddenly, wham, you just can't win, loss after loss. It feels like the game is intentionally putting you with bad teammates or against impossible opponents. Is there any truth to this idea that the game catches you or forces losses?
It's probably the most persistent myth or theory in the community. Players see that pattern win, 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 then lose, 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 and assume manipulation.
Yeah.
But honestly, that pattern is exactly what you should expect from a functioning ELO or MMR system.
How so? It feels so targeted.
Think about it. You win games, your hidden MMR goes up. The system then says, okay, this player's doing well, let's give them a tougher challenge. So it matches you against slightly better opponents, or maybe with teammates whose average MMR balances out against a stronger enemy team.
Right. So the games get harder because I'm winning.
Precisely. Eventually, you reach opponents who are at your skill level, or maybe slightly above. You stop winning quite so easily. Your win rate naturally starts to regress back towards 50% as you hit your actual skill ceiling against equally matched opponents.
So the losing streak isn't the game punishing me, it's just me hitting my current skill limit.
In most cases, yes. It feels like a downturn, like the system turned against you, but it's the natural ebb and flow of a skill-based matchmaking system trying to find competitive games for you. It's an expected outcome, not rigging.
That actually makes a lot of sense, even if it doesn't feel good in the moment. It's counterintuitive to the feeling of being targeted.
It really is, and this ties directly into the other big theory, the forced 50% win rate, sometimes called EOMM or engagement-optimized matchmaking.
Right, the idea that the game wants you at 50% wins and will manipulate matches to keep you there, maybe to keep you playing longer.
That's the theory, that it deliberately mixes wins and losses to maximize engagement. Now, does Moonton officially confirm they do this?
What's their line?
They consistently deny any dark system or direct manipulation claims. They call it baseless speculation. And statistically, if you think about it, a truly effective skill-based system will naturally push players towards a 50% win rate over a large number of games anyway.
You eventually get matched with equally skilled players.
Exactly. If you win too much, MMR goes up, opponents get harder, you start losing until you stabilize around that 50% mark against players of similar skill. It's a natural consequence of fair matchmaking.
But that name, engagement-optimized matchmaking, sounds like it is trying to manage the player experience, maybe manipulate emotions a bit.
Well, it's about the goal. While it's not necessarily malicious rigging designed to hold you back unfairly, the objective of EOM, generally speaking in game design, is often about maximizing player retention. By optimizing the overall experience, this could involve adjusting parameters behind the scenes to ensure a player doesn't just hit a soul-crushing 10-game losing streak and quit forever. It might try to balance the experience to prevent extreme highs and lows.
So less about forcing 50%, more about preventing extreme negative experiences that make people uninstall.
That's a way to look at it. It's potentially about smoothing the curve to sustain engagement, not necessarily about rigidly enforcing a specific win rate or unfairly disadvantaging anyone. The goal is keeping players playing.
Interesting distinction. Okay, besides the dark system and EOM, are there other common community beliefs about matchmaking worth mentioning?
Yeah, a few pop up. One is about player behavior and credit score. You know, your score drops if you get reported for being toxic, AFK, etc. Some players believe that keeping a high credit score might lead to getting matched with better, less toxic teammates. Moonton frames credit score mainly as promoting fair play, but the community theory persists.
So being a good sport might actually pay off in matchmaking. Maybe.
It's a popular theory, yeah. Another interesting one, though it's not officially confirmed anywhere I've seen, comes from player reports.
What's that?
Some players claim that if you go on a really long, brutal losing streak, especially at very low ranks, the game sometimes starts putting AI bots into your ranked matches.
Seriously. Bots in ranked.
That's the report. The thinking is, maybe it's a way to help someone break the streak, regain some confidence, get an easy win. You hear stories of, suddenly the enemy team played terribly after a huge loss streak. Could be bots.
Wow, like a hidden mercy roll. That's fascinating if true. What about things like your main role or favorite heroes? Does the system try to group players who main the same role or avoid it?
Officially, no. The core MMR matchmaking doesn't consider your hero pool or preferred role. That's what the lane matchmaking system tries to solve after the initial match based on skill is found sorting out the team comp.
Right.
And, you know, despite all the system tuning Wind does, people still report genuinely imbalanced matches, sometimes mythics against epics, that kind of thing.
Yeah, those definitely still happen.
It's tough. Balancing queue times, rank difference, hidden MMR, party size. It's a complex optimization problem for a huge player base. Occasional weird matches are probably inevitable, even if the system is generally trying its best to be fair.
Okay, so putting it all together, if the system isn't inherently rigged and it's mostly trying to find fair matches based on skill, even if it feels weird sometimes, what does that mean for us players? How do we actually climb consistently? What's the real algorithm for success?
The real algorithm, if you want to call it that, isn't hidden in the game's code. It's you. It's the player's consistent application of skill, strategy, and honestly, mental game.
Focusing on what we control.
Exactly. That's where the path to consistent winning lies.
Okay, so let's break that down. Where do we start? Individual performance, maybe. What are the absolute core skills beyond just, getting kills?
Absolutely. First up, objective control. This is huge. MLBB isn't just team deathmatch. It's about taking down the enemy base.
Right, turrets win games.
Turrets, Lord, Turtle. Knowing when to prioritize them, securing them safely, even last-hitting minions consistently for that gold and XP advantage that's fundamental, it fuels everything else.
And seeing the whole picture.
Map awareness. Constantly glancing at that mini-map. It tells you where enemies might be, helps anticipate ganks, signals when to rotate for objectives, spots split pushes. It's non-negotiable.
Okay, objectives, map awareness. What about our personal stats, like KDA? Do they matter beyond just looking good?
They definitely matter for your hidden MMR gain and directly feed into those star protection and star raising points we discussed. Good KDA, high damage, good crowd control usage, objective participation. These metrics show the system you're performing well.
So playing smart and effectively boosts your climb directly.
Yes. And don't neglect optimizing controls and settings. Things like using advanced aim, hero lock mode, making sure you have high FPS enabled. These little tweaks can genuinely improve your execution in fights.
Makes sense. Little edges add up.
Yeah.
Okay, that's individual mechanics. What about the strategic side? Hero picks, adapting.
Crucial, especially as you climb higher. First, understanding the meta. You gotta stay updated. Which heroes got buffed? Which got nerfed? Knowing the S-tier picks gives you an advantage.
Right, playing with strong.
And once you hit epic rank and draft pick begins, hero counters become vital. Knowing who to pick against the enemy's key heroes can win you the game before it even starts. Picking anti-heal against Estias or Uranus, for example.
That draft phase becomes a whole mini-game. What about sticking to just one role? Is being a one-trick viable?
It can work initially, maybe, but for higher ranks, role versatility is incredibly valuable. Being proficient in at least 2, ideally maybe 3 or more roles.
Why is that so important?
Because you won't always get your main role, especially in solo queue. Someone else might pick it or it might get banned. Being able to fill effectively, adapt to what your team needs, or counterpick strategically makes you a much stronger player overall.
Good point. Adaptability. Okay, individual skill, check. Strategy, check. But MLBB is a team game. What's the algorithm for teamwork?
The most reliable way. Play with consistent teammates. Seriously. Find people you play well with, add them, queue up as a duo, trio, or even a 5-man squad.
Coordination makes a huge difference.
Massive. Communication, synergy, it's just way easier than relying on randoms every game. Beyond that, focus on effective team composition during the draft.
Like having the right mix of roles.
Exactly. A balanced team usually needs a tank or initiator, sustained damage dealers, marksman mage, perhaps some burst or control, maybe some sustain. Think about damage types too. Physical and magic damage makes you harder to itemize against. Crowd control is key.
So it's not just picking individually strong heroes, but heroes that work together.
Precisely. And finally, during the game itself, in-game coordination. Use pings effectively. Call out missing enemies. Coordinate your attacks on objectives like Lord or Turtle. Focus fire on the right targets in teamfights. Simple communication wins games.
It sounds like it requires ongoing effort, not just playing matches, but actively trying to improve.
Absolutely. That leads to the last piece. Continuous learning and adaptation. Keep checking patch notes. The game changes all the time. Watch pro players or high-level streamers see how they play, what builds they use. Analyze your own gameplay. Watch your replays, especially losses. Where did you make mistakes? What could you have done differently?
That takes some humility, watching your own fails.
It does, but it's how you improve. And crucially, maintain a positive mindset. Don't play when you're tilted or super tired. If you hit a losing streak, take a break. Focus on learning something from each game, win or lose, and try to enjoy the process.
Okay, so let's try to wrap this up. It sounds like while MLBB's matchmaking and ranking systems have their complexities and maybe some quirks that feel unfair sometimes, the whole dark system or forced losses idea is mostly a misunderstanding of how a school-based system naturally pushes you towards challenging games.
Largely, yes. It's the system trying to find your equilibrium, which can involve tougher matches after winning streaks.
And the real key to climbing, the true algorithm, isn't about beating the system, but about focusing on your own improvement.
Exactly. It's player agency, your individual skill, your strategic thinking, your ability to work with the team, and your willingness to learn and adapt. That's what truly drives consistent progress.
That puts the power back in the player's hands, really.
It does.
So here's a final thought then. If the system is, in theory, designed to push you towards that 50% win rate at your current true skill level, what if the biggest thing holding you back from climbing isn't the algorithm at all?
Mm.
What if it's your own resistance to change, to adapting your playstyle, to honestly critiquing your own mistakes, or to truly embracing teamwork? What aspect of your game will you focus on next time you queue up?